It's a DACCAST. It's a DACCAST. It's a DACCAST. DACCCAST. Cause I said it's a DACCAST. It's a DACCAST. It's a DACCAST. DACCAST. DACCCAST. DACCCAST.
You're listening to DACCAST, produced by students of Danville Area Community College. And now your hosts, Kaya and Keegan.
Yo, 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 it's Kaya and Keegan here from the basement of the clock tower.
Here on DACCCAST, we get to know the familiar faces we see all over campus in hopes that students at DACC and members of the community get to know each other a little better.
With that being said, we are here today with the Executive Director of the DACC Foundation, Tonya Hill. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I love being in the basement. It's kind of cool down here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Kind of cool.
Nice, fun faces I see. Love it.
Okay, so walk us through a normal day for you. What does that look like?
My normal day, I usually have a to-do list, and I usually never get to that list.
Yeah.
So in the foundation office, there are three of us. As you stated, I'm the executive director, so my job is to go out and raise money for scholarships, technology, capital improvement, just needs of the overall college and students.
Yeah.
And then I have Sandy Dreer in my office. She's my controller. She takes care of all the finances, all the money I raise. She handles that. And then I have Gina Davis. She's our office assistant, and she's also my scholarship coordinator. So she's the one that works with the overall scholarship application. And when students have questions, we all kind of do that. But if we're not there, they're directed to her. But so a normal day for me is basically communicating with donors and talking to them about scholarships or following up with them and just talking to donors.
Yeah.
What I love to do, talk. Anybody will tell you that. So, and telling the story of DACC and all the wonderful things that happen here and the awesome stories of students that come in and graduate and, you know, work for NASA. I mean, it's just super cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So take us through your background and your college days at Eastern Illinois.
Okay, so I'll tell you about Eastern Illinois, but I'm first going to tell you about DACC.
DACC, okay.
Oh, I was
So
just about to ask. Did you go to DACC?
Yes, I am a DACC alum, and I shout it loud and proud. That's kind of how I start my stories when I talk to donors. I am a DACC grad. I graduated in 1993. A lot of folks don't like to tell you that, but I'm very proud of that. So when I was in high school, I had an awesome counselor who sat down and said, I think you need to attend DACC. I think it would do you well. I attended VOTEC back in the day, which is now College Express, and I did the business administration. And so that kind of led me down the path of business. And he said, I think you would do well at DACC. And I was a student that had to pay for my own college. Mm-hmm. And so I worked summers in high school to save up my money and was able to attend DACC. And I think back then when I was attending, it was maybe $50 a credit hour. But to me, that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I was going to be a legal secretary, which anybody that's out there listening knows that there's no way I was going to be a legal secretary sitting there in silence all day. It was not going to happen, but that's the path I went down. So attended here for 2 years through the business and career program, had some wonderful teachers who took me by the hand and said, here's what you need to do. And I worked at First Midwest Bank while I was attending school. So I had to dress up every day and walk from that parking lot clear over here to Clock Tower and snow up to my knees. But I did it, and it paid off. So I was actually nominated Secretary of the Year in 93 as well here at DACC. And after I graduated, I obtained a job at Cellular One. And I was their secretary. Well, that only lasted about 6 months, and they're like, you need to go into sales. You talk too much. So I went into sales, and I started selling phones. I sold bag phones. I installed phones. I sold every phone you can think of, which you kids probably don't even know, but there's big old brick phones.
Nokias.
I sold, all Nokias, flip phones, and then I opened the store in the mall in 94, and ran that for 12 years.
Wow.
And but while I was at Cell One, my point here is after working there for 8 years, I realized they had an educational reimbursement plan. And one of the management team came to me and said, hey, you got your associate's degree. Are you interested in getting your bachelor's? I'm like, I am, but I'm working full time and I just don't know how I'm going to do this. And I was part of the Chamber of Commerce. Glenda Kitzman took me by the hand and said, you need to join the chamber when I was at Cell One. So I did, and had a lot of wonderful mentors through the chamber. And I met a lady, and she's like, Eastern's perfect. It's for adult learners. And I said, so I checked into it and signed up, and I was well on my way. So 8 years after I obtained my associate's degree, I went back to get my bachelor's degree in business management and career and organizational studies. But I wasn't your traditional student. I attended weekend classes. I came to class on Friday nights, Saturdays, and some classes even held on Sunday till noon. But in 2005, I graduated from Eastern Illinois with my bachelor's degree. And was pretty much fully paid for but 2 classes. And so I can tell you I graduated debt-free. It's a little hard work and help and perseverance. Anybody can do it. But so that's my educational story. And I continue to take classes. I think that's important. For any learner, young, old, in between, you should always stay intact with education and continue to get to learn, no matter if it's a corporate and community ed class or a little 4-hour class. I just took an Excel class the other day through corporate and community ed just as a refresher. So you should always continue to do that.
And DACC is like the perfect place
The perfect place for that. Absolutely.
So is this educational reimbursement thing starting to become more popular in jobs today?
I think working with donors and local corporate offices, they see the worth in helping someone pay for their education. I mean, I know the nursing students, they graduate here with their associates in nursing, and they obtain a job at one of our local hospitals, and they will tell them, you can get your bachelor's degree. You may have to sign something saying you're going to stay for so long. I'm sure there's a contract of some sort, but it's the way to go, to let your employer help pay for your education, and they know the worth of that. You're going to stay there.
Exactly,
Yeah.
So at Cell One and First Midwest, what was the most important thing from those jobs that you took here to DACC, that you learned from those jobs?
Those jobs, relationships and mentors. I had so many wonderful people, I can't even name them all, who saw that I had potential, I should say. And my parents always said, respect your elders, listen to your elders. And I don't want to call them my elders, but they were, you know, just as I am yours, I guess, And they will lead you down the right path. So what I bring here when I talk to students is, form that relationship with your instructor. Come up and talk to me. I know people from being in this community my entire life. And if I know what you're looking towards, I may know somebody that could help you. Your instructors may know somebody that can help you. So it's the relationships I built with my coworkers. When I worked at First Midwest and I was coming to school here, there were 5 ladies I worked with, and they were like my mothers. And they just took me in, and if it wasn't busy, like, shut your window, you can do your homework. I'm like, okay. So, things like that, and you respect that. And you take that with you forever. And to this day, I sit on boards with some of my instructors that were my instructors. They're retired at this point, or a lot of community boards with teachers, and it's just super cool. I mean, this is a cool little place to live. A lot of caring people.
And so were you born in Danville, or were you raised in Danville?
No, actually, I was born in Kentucky.
Oh.
I was born in Glasgow, Kentucky, and we moved here when I was 2, and actually lived right over here on Nicholas Street when we first moved here. And lived there for a couple years, and then we moved over to Perrysville Road, and I attended Douglas Grade School. And which is now unfortunately tore down. And then I moved to Oakwood when I was 10, and I graduated from Oakwood High School.
Is Glasgow more east or west?
It would be more east.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm from Ohio, so I kind of think of Kentucky as like the cousins.
Yeah, if
down
you're headed through central Kentucky, you go through Glasgow if you're headed to Bowling Green.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if that makes tells you where it's at.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what aspect of this area keeps you here? You seem to keep on making a lot of connections and networking yourself around this area, and you talk about all the people who you've met here and how amazing they are. And
Yeah,
what
I
keeps
think
you
that's
around?
what keeps me here.
Yeah.
I think that obtaining this position, I'm doing it because I want to give back. I had so many people give to me, not necessarily financially, because when I was in school, there were scholarships, but it wasn't as apparent and abundant as it is now.
Yeah.
But just getting the tuition reimbursement from someone that I worked for here locally and having that network of people,
Yeah.
they're my family. And I have family here. I'm married, of course, and I have a son who's 17, and my mom's here, and I have a lot of cousins and family, but I have a lot of friends that have become my family
Yeah.
and people that I've worked with, and I stay close to those people.
Yeah.
Thankfully we have social media and technology to keep us close right now, and I just don't lose touch with those people.
Yeah.
But that's what keeps me here. Now, as I get older, the cold weather makes me want to venture south, but I'm lucky enough that I have friends that live south, so I'm actually going to visit here at the end of March. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
But no, I tell students all the time, I know it seems rough right now, but this community is wonderful. You just got to
Yeah.
get out there and put yourself out there and communicate and talk and be adventurous and take a chance, and
Yeah.
you'd be amazed at what you'll find.
Yeah.
So I have a statement from somebody that we had talked to about you, and I wanted to share that with you. They said, "She is probably one of the most charismatic and charming community leaders I know. People love to be around her. She's smart as hell and fearless." How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that?
Wow, I don't know. It kind of makes me want to cry. I don't know. I appreciate that. I don't know who said that, but thank you. I just have a love for life, and I have a love for people.
Yeah.
So yeah, wow, that's
I wanted
quite
to
the
share that with
statement.
you.
Well, thank you. Yeah. People call. I was talking to a donor yesterday, and answered the phone, and I kind of maybe knew what where the conversation was going. It was nothing bad, but I knew there was some more paperwork that needed to be done or whatever. And I answered the phone, and I've working in cellular communication.
Yeah.
You can hear somebody's voice over the phone. You can
Yeah.
tell if they're having a bad day or they're having
Yeah.
a good day. And sometimes just answering the phone, DACC Foundation, how are you? And they're like, wow, you're in a good mood. Well, yeah, I am, because I'm in a good spot. But it makes you smile,
Yeah.
Exactly.
and it makes, you never know when it's going to make somebody else smile on the other end. And they said, wow, you must be having a better day than I am. I'm like, absolutely I am,
Yeah.
But yeah, so you just learn. I just try to make people smile because
Exactly.
people have made me smile. And
Yeah.
if helping students obtaining scholarships, and I go to the high schools, and when I can, I didn't get to do that last year, so we did a virtual. And seeing those students in the back who think, I'm not listening to her, I don't have a chance.
Yeah.
And to let them know that we have scholarships in all ranges
Yeah.
in the foundation, vocational trades, certificates. I mean, as long as you're a student, part-time, full-time, you can obtain a scholarship from us. But sometimes, again, it's just communicating that we have other options besides coming in and going off to a 4-year college. There's a whole realm of things you can do here. And seeing that student raise their head up and go, really, I could go into welding and just do 2 years and come out making, $50,000 an average a year. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. Working with your hands. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And here they come up to my office. That's the best feeling ever.
Yeah.
And I am so lucky to be in a position. Everybody's dream is to do something you love, right?
Exactly.
And I talk to students that are seniors like, I don't know what I want to do. And you don't need to really know what you do, because one door is going to open another door. And that's exactly what's happened with me.
Yeah.
I went from cell 1, had my son, and decided I didn't want to really work retail and work 7 days a week, holidays, that kind of thing. So I went to work at A.G. Edwards as a financial associate, and then worked there for 4 years. Went to Walgreens accounting for a small stint. That really wasn't. There's where I figured out where I needed to be. I need to be in the community. I need to be talking to people. I need to be helping people.
Yeah.
So I ended up at Old National Bank in the trust department, and that job was wonderful. I wanted to do more, and then the position came open to be a lender, so I took a chance, and I became a lender and learned so much. And then My mentor, Jim Anderson, decided to retire. And so they came to me and asked me if I wanted to be the market president of Old National Bank.
Wow.
And I was like, oh no, I don't, I was nervous, but you miss the shots you don't take. And
Exactly.
he was wonderful to me, taught me so much, was gone for a stint, came back and counseled and consulted with me a little bit more. And again, met so many wonderful business people in the world with that position. And every door opens another door. And then this position came open, and I'm like, I've always wanted to do that because my heart has always been at this college.
Yeah.
And took another chance, and here I am. Gotcha. 2.5 years later.
Wow.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you mentioned scholarships, and we talked a little bit before we started recording about it. So fill us in on what the foundation is working on right now.
Okay, so right now the scholarship application is open. It opened January 4th, and it is going to close on March 8th. So the DACC scholarship, you log on, DACC.edu, and you can go to foundation and click on scholarship application. So you click on that. It's one application for over 635 scholarships at this point.
Wow.
Last year we gave out over 550, and I've been working pretty hard to obtain some more over the past year. Mm-hmm. And like I said, one application. And in that application, the three major things we're looking for is your essay, which is your story.
Yeah.
We just want to know what your career objectives are, or why are you going to school? We got lots of neat stories about my grandpa owned a farm and now I want to go into ag because I want to continue the business, or my mother was a nurse and I watched her take care of people, or I helped take care of my grandma. I mean, we just want to hear your heartfelt stories about why you're coming to school. And a lot of it is, we all know it's not cheap.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, we have presidential scholarships that we give out. That's the top 15% of your class. In the county schools, Danville High gets 4, and the county schools get 2. And those are presidential scholars. They get full tuition paid. But again, they still have to go on and apply in the scholarship application. So we're looking for your essay. I kind of got off track there. We're looking for your essay. And then you have to have letters of recommendation. You just need one, but you can have up to 3. You can have as many as you want. You can upload as many as you want. And then we'll need your transcript. So if you're a current high school student, we'll need to get your high school transcripts, which you can get from your high school counselor. And then if you're taking classes here at DACC, if you've taken any classes here at DACC, you need to get your DACC transcripts and upload those as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those are the 3 major things you're going to need. Otherwise, it's just questions.
Yeah.
It's donor-driven questions, employer-driven questions. We have, McDonald's is a donor. Do you work at McDonald's? If you do, they give preference to the recipient that works at McDonald's. If there's not, which there usually is, then somebody else may get it.
Yeah.
Burger King has one as well. So there's just lots of different questions on there which are donor driven.
Yeah.
The Cody Allen Wilson, you have to do a freedom essay. That's our instructor Alan Wilson's scholarship in memory of his son. And he asked for a essay of what freedom means to you because Cody was in the military.
Yeah.
So it's just a little essay you write about what freedom means to you. So there's different little things in there depending on what you're looking for. But again, it's one application.
I was just about to say that is Keegan and I are going on to university and we're looking for how to fund our tuitions. And so some universities have an option to, apply to all these different scholarships, but you hit the jackpot when you just have to do one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it just goes for all of them.
grandfathers
Yeah,
all.
exactly.
So that's awesome. I was just telling Keegan that we also have transfer scholarships. So you two need to apply.
I might have to do that.
Just cut that part out.
Yeah. That's what some of the students are like. I was like, hey, tell your friends. Well, why would I do
exactly.
that? This is going to
I
make
don't
less
think
for
so.
me. No, tell your friend,
Yeah.
But yes, we have scholarships for as long as you're a DACC student or going to be a DACC student. young, old, in between. It doesn't matter. It's, what your career goals are. And then, so when we close it out, we have a process. Some donors like to read their own scholarship. So they log on and we get our software program separates all this out. And we give the donors your applications to read. And then the ones that the donors don't want to read, I have a scholarship selection committee of over 40 volunteers who read, and each application is read 3 times. So it's a collective score. And before we had paper, I was on the scholarship selection committee for over 10 years. I guess I still am now, right? And used to be papers upon papers, and it was so hard. And I think that's where my heart really started tugging, because I could only pick one for this scholarship, and there was 20 candidates for this one scholarship.
Yeah.
And you just want to give everybody something. And so my goal when I started this position was I would like to give any and everybody that applies something.
Wow.
So the scoring process has helped that. The only reason you may not get one is if you didn't fill out your application or submit something right.
Yeah.
And we try to communicate with the students when they apply. Gina's great about that. Hey, we're missing your transcript. Hey, we're missing your essay. So check your DACC email. It is so important.
Yeah.
And I know we flood emails with lots of things, but if you see one from the DACC Foundation, I say check it. Because we're probably telling you've been awarded.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's very, very important. Check your emails.
Yeah, we should have like a huge air horn right at the beginning and then at the end, just saying that this is so important, because there's 635
valued at $756,000 at this point.
Wow.
Yeah, last year we gave out over 550 valued at $650.
And how many people have applied so far?
Right now, I have 65 submitted.
Wow.
170 just waiting to submit.
Yeah.
And so that is what I really want to key in on.
Yeah, I was going to say
it
that
closes
math.
next week. And I understand it's COVID and everybody's kind of uncertain of what they want to do. But no matter what, just get on and apply, because later on, if you change your mind and you decide you want to take another class, and I've had students come up and say, I didn't apply, but I need help.
Yeah.
I can't. You have to be in my scholarship application online. And if you come up later on and maybe you want to take another class and you need help, if you've applied for scholarships and you're in there, we can take a look at that.
Yeah.
We have money coming in. And like I said, at all times we have new scholarships coming in. And some of the donors was like, yeah, if you have somebody now, just go ahead and award it to them.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait for the honors program. So that's another thing. So we'll close it out in April or March 8th. You will be notified if you are a recipient by the end of April, maybe the 1st of May. And then we have a scholarship honors program, which last year we did virtual. Fingers crossed we get to do it in the gym again this year in September. And then you get to sit with your donor and see who these wonderful people are who've taken their hard-earned money and given it to you. And
that's really cool.
Sometimes you form a really good relationship with these donors. Again, these are wonderful people who know other people who know people that can help you get a job. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, it's just a great process.
Wow.
So when you took on being the director of the foundation, how many scholarships were there to give out the first year?
The first year it was around 500.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in 2.5 years, it's grown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you probably don't see it slowing down at all?
I don't see it. I don't plan on it slowing down. Every time I talk to somebody, that's my job. I'm working all the time. And people love to hear that story. And just, you have a scholar. Here's something. So people get older. Why do you get them for their birthday? Or somebody passes, you send flowers, which flowers are great, right?
Yeah.
But what an honor if you had a scholarship, or there's a scholarship, you do a scholarship in somebody's memory.
Yeah.
What a legacy to live on. So those are conversations I have with donors. Or somebody's like, well, I don't really know what to send them for their birthday. Well, send a donation to the DACC Foundation and help one of the general scholarships, put money towards a general scholarship. And then it goes in my newsletter in memory or honorarium of, and then I send that person or the family a letter letting them know that somebody did a donation.
Pretty cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
And that is helping a student, which is continuing as a legacy, or somebody's 50th, 60th, 80th, 100th birthday.
Yeah.
It's helping a student that's coming up through the generations. It's just, there's so many things you can do with it. So,
And it's so good to think about is that the people here, the instructors and the administration care about the students so much that you're willing to go out and just say, hey, can we have money to help our students? And it's like your everyday job and you love doing it.
It's my
awesome.
everyday job. And speaking of the instructors and the administration, they all give.
Yeah.
It is humbling to me when someone's in need, how the faculty and staff here on campus just reach in their pockets and say, what can we do?
Yeah.
Wow.
When they give every day anyway, but Danville Area Community College is the best kept little gem in Danville, Illinois.
It
It
is.
really is. And they care. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what it is. People here care about you. And you're not a number. They know your name.
Yeah.
And I can't say anything more about it. But I am so very blessed to be in this position.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And I know people get tired of hearing me say that. But if, I want to help the next person find their dream job too. And like I said, you're 17, you may not know what you're going to do. I didn't find this until I was 45. So, you never know.
Yeah.
Got to keep going, trying. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. I feel like I should just turn around and go
invigorating.
right back into DAC.
Yeah. And you can get your bachelor's degree through DACC. There's certain fields you can go into.
Yeah.
We have the 3+1 program where you can obtain your bachelor's degree here too. So I highly, encourage students, talk to our counselors, talk to the administrator, talk to anybody. Come to me. I'll lead you in the right direction, Love taking students downstairs to the counselors or to the cashier's off financial aid, wherever they need help. We also do that in the foundation. The other thing we have in the foundation is food pantry.
Oh. Okay.
So I just went last week and picked up 732 pounds of food
Wow.
from the food pantry to stock us back up. And again, that comes from donors. We have donors that give to the food pantry. And if you're a DAC student, if you're you work here, if you need the pantry, you come see us.
Yeah.
We were able to help people through COVID. Now we had people call in and we'd get it ready and, meet them out and do the safety procedures.
Mm-hmm.
But I encourage anybody, if you need food, you need help, come see us.
That's something that I didn't know that
Yep.
you guys have.
Yep, it's in the administration building on the second floor, but it's through the foundation. We run it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we have a lot of donors, a lot of faculty and staff that give towards the food pantry.
That's
So
pretty
we don't
cool.
have fresh produce. We would love to do that because, we're overgrowing lettuce now in the horticulture, but because we just don't really have anywhere to keep that.
Yeah.
But our partners, Myers, here in town, last year gave us $1,000 in gift cards, and they recently just gave us
Wow.
another $1,000.
That's pretty cool.
So we give out Meyer cards if you need milk, fresh produce, things of that. Maybe you need gas.
Yeah.
There's a form you have to fill out, and but we can help a lot of people in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Foundation's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, DAC's cool. I mean,
DAC
it's
is
because
very
it's
cool. DAC is pretty
because
cool.
of everybody that works here. I
Yeah.
mean, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get to know you a little bit more.
Okay.
I heard you like to travel.
I do like to travel.
So tell me about that. I like to travel too. where do you go?
I usually go with my girlfriends.
Yeah.
My husband's not much of a traveler. My son is.
Okay.
So actually, he and I are headed to my girlfriend's house in New Smyrna here at the end of March. We visit her through spring break in the last 3 years. But I like to travel with my girlfriend, and we've been to Mexico a couple times.
Ooh.
And we take little wine tours, in different states and things of that nature. Of course, COVID's put a big damp on that, but we're going to get back at it for sure. But I hope to travel more abroad later on. But right now, of course, none of us can really do that. But I'm all about if somebody calls and says, hey, you want to go do this? I'm in. All my girlfriends will tell you that. She's in. We know
She's
Tonya's
in.
in. Yeah. So, I love to socialize and just be out and about. I'm not a stay-at-home kind of person. I love people. I got to be around people.
Yeah. You said New Smyrna?
New Smyrna Beach.
In Florida?
Yes.
Do you know about New Smyrna?
Yeah, it's the shark.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I was
know.
just making
What?
sure.
Wait, what is
I don't
it?
get
It's
that
the
far in the
shark bite
water.
capital of the world.
Oh, is it
world.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I only get into my ankles and then I get out. I don't,
Yeah, no. I went to Disney World with my girlfriend 2 years ago, and we went to New Smyrna, and I got totally in the water without knowing, and then I see a video on Twitter, and it says New Smyrna, the shark bite capital of the world,
Yep.
and it's
Oh my
this
gosh.
huge fish, like this big, just had a bite this big out of it. It just rolled
Yeah.
up on shore, and I was like, okay, I didn't know that, and I was just swimming in there.
Yes,
So, that's
yeah.
cool.
It's a quaint little town with cute little boutiques, and
Yeah.
it's just fun. And I'm lucky I have a girlfriend that lives there, and she's only 7 miles inland. So
Oh, look at that.
I know we're
Yeah.
looking. I was just talking to her before I was headed over here. So
Was that free lodging?
yes, absolutely,
That's always a plus.
Yeah.
That is always a plus.
absolutely.
And you said you like to travel with your son?
Yes.
Yes. And
Yeah.
you said he's 17, right?
He's 17. He's a senior at Salt Fork, Catlin.
That's so
And he's online, so unfortunately his senior year he's online, but
Aw.
he is attending DACC too. He's doing the dual credit courses. Having his mother working here, I'm on him all the time. I'm sure he's like, oh, I can't wait to leave. But no, he loves DACC. He attended college for kids when he was little.
Oh.
And you could only go till a certain age. And Laura Henskin, we became friends through that. She would always make sure Mac was going where he was supposed to go. And ever since then, he has always loved DACC. And he's actually working here as a student worker.
Look at
Taking your
that.
temperature. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
He loves it. Loves it. So, yeah, we're just one big DACC family. My husband actually graduated from DACC as
Oh,
well.
Look at that.
And he went on to the U of I, and he is a landscaping architect. So, and he will tell you the best education he got was right here at Danville Area Community College.
I feel like I'm going to be saying the same thing
Yeah.
after I get done. So
Yeah, it's a big bad world out there once you leave our little community college,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's what you have to do. So, yeah, it's just the three of us. And don't get me wrong, my husband does go on family vacations.
He's like, no, I don't want to go anywhere.
He picks and chooses, but we usually go with his sister and brother, and we have a good time. But
Yeah.
if it's just a whim vacation, it's usually my son and I, or maybe just me.
Our intel also said that you are a breast cancer survivor.
Yes, I wondered if that was going to get brought up.
Well,
So,
yeah.
yes, in 2019, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, August 29th, actually, and then I had a bilateral mastectomy in October, and all was good. All was clear. They got everything. And I thought I was free and not going to have to do chemo or radiation or anything like that. But with technology and new testing, which is great,
Yeah.
they do what they call an oncogene testing. And if your number comes back between 26 and 100, they recommend preventative chemo.
Oh.
And guess what my number was?
27.
26.
26.
So, yeah, I came to Dr. Leviog here in town, who is absolutely wonderful, and got a second opinion, and he said, okay, I see this test you had, but let's pretend you didn't have that, and you came here to begin, because he was my second opinion, because I went through Christie Clinic with my surgeons, and everybody has been wonderful to me,
Yeah.
Christie and OSF. And he said, I would recommend chemo anyway, just in case there's any little floaters around in there, you don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, because the Christie oncologist kind of gave me, well, it's up to you. Yeah, this is a situation, you can do it or you don't have to.
That's
So
the
I-
worst when they're
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah,
it's
I
up
just
to
wanted
you.
somebody to tell me yes or no.
Exactly.
Make the decision for me.
Just make the decision for me. So I said, okay, so you're going to let me go home and think about this? He said, no. You want to start chemo here or do you want to go back to Champaign? And I
Wow.
said, well, there's my answer. I said, okay, I'll start it here. So I had 4 chemo treatments. In the midst of that, I had 3 other girlfriends diagnosed. We are all diagnosed within 3 months.
Wow.
We all live within a 10-mile radius of each other. So it's a real
Wow.
eye-opener. None of us tested genetically for it. So it's Dr. Leviog, it's our environment, the foods we eat, the things we consume, and anyway, it was found through a mammogram. I was very lucky. It was ductal. Nobody felt anything. So get your mammograms, girls. I know this is a DACC podcast, but this is so important. I've had one every year since I was 35. And so they've had something to look at. And they called me, and I did the 3D mammogram at OSF Women's Care Center. And they called me and said, you need to go get a biopsy. And I'm like, no, I don't. You need to do an ultrasound. I've been through this before.
Yeah.
Nope, we don't. And I argued with them. Anyway, it landed. I've had such overwhelming support from this community. Again, you know, and my friends, my family. So I want to say I coasted through it because it's that support system that gets you through it. And the other 3 ladies, we had each other to talk to. Yeah. And I am happy to say at this point, all of us are doing great.
Oh, that's good to hear.
But you know, you learn to live every day to the fullest because you never know what's going to happen. So then OSF came to me and asked me if I would be, they're all in the genes, poster child, we'll call it. So you probably saw me on the billboard. It was the funniest thing. I had people call and say, do you know you're on the billboard? Yeah, actually I do. So that was great because I did have other women in the community reach out to me after they've had scans and things of that nature. Just scared. It's scary.
Wow.
And you just got to go into it with that positive attitude. And no matter with technology, they've come so far. And you just keep that positive attitude. You're going to be okay because they're ahead of the game, I hope, you know, and you never know when things can change. But until then, you live every day happy and positive and smiling. Yeah. And be glad that you have another day. So, yeah. And I, you know, through this, I came to work. I missed, you know, a couple days through chemo and surgeries. I had 6 surgeries last year. And, you know, my DACC family, like, what are you doing here? This is what keeps me going, this place. And I was lucky I got to come in and go to work and have my own office and continue to talk to donors. And they were always so kind. And it's just, it was just the fuel that fed me to keep me going. But, get your mammograms. It's very, very important. And don't be scared. You know what's scary is when you haven't had one. Yeah. And you should have had one 5 years ago and you didn't. So start soon as you can. And hopefully it all works out. But I am here for that too. If anybody wants to talk, I'm happy to tell you my experience and the things that, you know, as you're going through all that, sometimes the doctors don't always tell you, not that they don't mean to, but just the little things that you can give some tips on. But anyway, I'm happy to talk to anybody that would like to talk about that as well. Yeah. Yeah.
You're just a great source for information.
That's what I'm thinking. Scholarships and mammograms.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I could probably tell you a little bit about wine too, but we won't go into that.
So you said you're 45?
No. I'll be 48 here soon.
48.
Yeah, March 10th.
Okay, so do you have any vision of what you want to do after retirement? I know it's a ways down the road.
Is it a ways down the road?
Oh, yeah.
How many years
because
do you
I'm
have
doing
left?
what I love. Yeah. I mean, I've always said, like, when I started at Selwyn, I was like, I'm going to retire when I'm 55. So another thing is, at a young age, you start putting back for your retirement. And I listened to somebody, and I did that too. But when you find what you really love, I don't know that date now. Yeah. I mean, before I had one, but now I don't know. As long as I'm still raising money for the college and for students and doing what I love, I don't know what that date really is.
You're not looking forward to that yet. You're not planning for that yet.
No. I'm living right now. Yeah. And probably traveling, if you want to know the truth.
Yeah.
That's what I figured.
Getting out there and doing the travel abroad more instead of staying in the States. Yeah. But exploring different things that I've not had a chance to really do. Yeah. So, visiting family maybe that I haven't got to see or friends that have moved far away and things like that. Yeah.
That seems to be a popular answer when we ask people.
Traveling?
No, that they don't really have a vision for it because they're happy
Kelly
where they're at
Johnson
right
said she wants to go in the mountains and die there or something like that. So I think she was planning for it.
I don't know. I don't see myself ever really retiring and not doing anything.
Yeah.
But when I do retire, maybe I move south where it's warmer and I work in a little coffee shop, or maybe I was joking, say maybe I'm going to be the banana boat driver that takes you out to your parasail. I don't know. Doesn't that sound like a cool, fun job?
Does.
I mean, gosh.
I think that'd be perfect for you, though. I really don't think that you can just sit in a house after all of
I'm
this,
not going to
know?
sit. No. I'm not a sitter. I don't have I do the normal things at home, but I really don't have a home hobby besides taking care of my family and my new little puppy. But I got a new little puppy.
What
She's
kind of
a
dog?
border collie. She's 4 months. Her name's Pearl. We just love her. Yeah, she's been highly entertaining through the last 4 months, and I just like having another little baby. But she's worth it. She's funny.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dogs are something else.
They are. They're wonderful.
They're funny, though.
Wonderful.
We are now going to move on to our rapid fire question segment called DACC Attack.
1, 2, 3, 4. DACC attack, 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 DACC attack.
I mean, that's it?
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Mornings or evenings?
Evenings.
High tech or low tech?
Low tech.
Driver or wedges? We heard you like golf.
Drivers.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Music or podcasts?
Music.
She thought she was going to
I think I've been set up for that one.
Got it.
Yeah, exactly. We're done with this.
Eat in or dine out?
Dine out because it's social.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
I feel like we already knew that
absolutely.
one.
Beach.
I
Okay.
think this is the dead giveaway. Working or relaxing?
Working.
Okay.
Yeah. Those were easy.
That's one of the better ones we've had.
Yeah.
Okay.
A
You're
lot
pretty
of-
good.
Okay.
We've had people choose both answers, and we've had people not choose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at all. Thank you so much, Tonya, for being here today. We really appreciated having you.
Thank you. This was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, like I said, I like to talk, and I like to talk about what I do. I like to talk about my family, and you've just opened that up to this is easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And if you want to keep on talking to her, just,
Call me.
yeah, exactly.
You can
Reach
call.
out to her.
I'll give you my cell phone number. Just call me. But please call the foundation if you have any questions about scholarships. Like I said, we've got 65 submitted right now. Do the math.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, so there's a lot of money out there to be given, and we love to give money away.
Yeah.
Our donors love to see the students receive that money and see what their future plans are. So please, DACC /foundation, go to the website. It's on there. I even did a little tutorial this year
I did see that.
to walk
yeah.
you through how to do it because we couldn't go out to the schools, and I think I was able to reach out to more adult learners as well as the students at the high school. But and my number's on there, so come up, visit us as long as you got your mask on.
Yeah.
Again, the food pantry, come see us about that. If we can't help you, we will find somebody who can.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yes, thank you for having me. This was fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you guys for listening. This has been the DACCAST with Kaya and Keegan.
Stay classy, Jaguars.